It's Friday night, here I am in a wood as always. Why is my camera inside a tree? What am I doing in the middle of a wood? What am I doing in general? Who knows? I certainly don't. Come along with my journey and see if you can figure out exactly what I'm doing, because I haven't got a clue. After I'd filmed last week's video, my Samyang 8mm lens arrived. Now I took this out into the hills and I ended up somewhere called Wolstonbury Hill. I didn't even know this place existed, let alone what I was going to find. I walked down a country path and before I knew it I was in the woods, but I'd left all of my stuff in the car. So today I'm going to go back to Wolstonbury Hill. We're going to take the tripod with me and I'm going to try and recreate some of the shots, but this time not at 3200 ISO and not in challenging conditions. So let's see how this goes. I'm also not going to do an unboxing video for this lens because if you type in Samyang 8mm you will find hundreds of videos where they do that. If you're new to my video, I do stress I'm not an expert, I've not used hundreds of lenses, so all I can do is work out whether I like this and how well it works for me. So without further ado, let's also take this brand new camcorder that I'm using out with me to Wolstonbury Hill. It's not just hot today. It is humid as hell. There are some nice dramatic skies out there which probably going to distract me a little bit, but once we're in the woods I think I'll be able to stick to the plan. Let's get going. Next step is remembering how to get up there. So when I came here before I went down that little path and ended up going round this this hill and going up the path at the side. Now that's quite a way. When I came back, I came out somewhere down here. So I'm just now looking for the entrance from this route, and I think actually I found it. I have. Excellent. This is where we're going. So I'm here. Something I forgot to do was research the history of this place because there's bound to be some. This is absolutely gorgeous. You can see you've got this huge hill here behind me. Got all this woodland and it really lends itself well to the use of the fisheye lens. So I'm going to revisit some of the trees that I came and photographed before, but I'm also going to keep my eye out for other shots as well because I've got a bit more time today. I'm going to take my time. The sun, although there's a bit of sun coming through the clouds, we've got quite a nice even diffusion of light, so that should mean that whatever I do won't be interrupted by overly bright conditions. I really like this tree here. I think this is going to be my first target. I didn't do this one before, but the more I look at it, the more intrigued I am by it. It's got a real sense of strength to it. And then in the background as well, these lovely woodland trees as well. I think the light's quite nicely evenly distributed as well. It's quite dark at the front, which I quite like. And then the light is bouncing off the trees in the background. So let's see how this goes. My ankles are getting a proper workout here already. The problem with shooting on this slope is that you're obviously gravity, you're constantly falling backwards. The first thing to mention about this lens is that it's manual focus, which is something I've not really used on a regular basis before. So I am having to use focus assist on my Fujifilm X-T1, which isn't the greatest. Although it gives you a nice little preview of what it's going to look like, I sometimes find it's not entirely accurate. But what served me well last time I was here is what I read or what I watched on some other YouTube videos. Some people said if you set it to f11 and then focus to infinity, it pretty much covers the whole frame, and so far that has seemed to work. I did do the first couple of shots accidentally at f2.8 because that's how low this goes. It'll be interesting to see if there's any significant difference between the two images when I get them into the computer. This is what really fascinated me when I first came here. This is a fallen tree, and these are actually the roots of the tree because the tree's on its side. So you can see how the tree has created its own new roots. The branches of the tree are now digging into the soil and they've created an almost horizontal platform. I just find it absolutely fascinating, and this is nature doing what nature does. I was going to take you on a tour of the tree, but I've just been down there with my camera. Been down here and taken a load of photos, and It's such hard work just staying on your feet, let alone having the camera with you, balancing the tripod, not falling over, managing your own weight distribution as you're going up and down the hill. To do it with this selfie stick or even with camera in hand, I don't think I want to do it. I think I'll just go over. So at this point, maybe I'll just stick the photos in. Okay, let's keep going up the hill. See what we come to next. So this is where I got one of my favourite pictures last time of this wonderful felled tree. You'll notice there's a theme. Got this wonderful, I don't know, is it chalk wall behind me as well? Couldn't quite do this bit justice before, so I might focus on that for a bit. Also, ground here is a bit flatter, gives me a bit of respite. Interestingly, by look, I had the tripod set at about 2/3 height, I think, as opposed to full height, which is where I tried to shoot it from before. And it immediately gave me a slightly different look. I think some of that was because of the amount of sunlight pouring in through the corner, which has given it a nice little sunburst on the side, which I really like actually. But yeah, I'm really happy with that as a shot. At the top of this hill, there is a route to the top of another hill. The sun is setting. Maybe it's time for me to go that way. Just before I go, I wanted to add, I'm an idiot. This isn't, of course, a chalk wall. It is a felled tree, like all the others, with chalk roots, or with chalk in the roots, I should say. So before anyone picks me up on that, yes, I know, I'm an idiot. One thing you really get from these woods is a real sense of the power of nature. It's just a reminder that nature will be fine without us, and that no matter what we do, if we mess up the environment, we're messing up for ourselves, because so many of these felled trees, and you can see the earth lives on. The trees live on, they'll grow over it, the trees will develop new ecosystems within here. We won't. Sounds like a silly thing to be saying, but one of the things I have to keep reminding myself about with this lens is that it is fisheye. Because when you're composing a picture, when you're looking at shapes and colours and textures and luminance, I just look at the screen and decide whether I like it or not, and I forget sometimes that some of the aspects of the picture are a little bit bent. So I am shooting everything at f11 and I am checking the focus assist before I take each shot. And it seems to be okay. It'll be interesting to see how it comes out in the camera, but so far, so good. Crap, I didn't think this through. Okay, one thing I forgot to mention was the details of the lens. I got an ex-display copy for less than 200 quid. I think it's about 300 quid brand new, you know, for a lens of that price. It's not necessarily going to be brilliant, and certainly when I'm used to shooting with Fujifilm lenses, there is a noticeable difference in the sharpness, both in the camera and in the processed images. But for a fisheye lens, that's a very good price, and it's not something which you're going to be using all the time. I really like the fisheye lens style shots for certain things, and I think the woodland lends itself really, really well to a fisheye lens shot. But it's not for everybody, and yeah, that price is... There's something crawling on my neck. It's gone. I don't know whether it was stinging or whether I just imagined it, but that was horrible. Trying something a little different, trying a shot inside this tree. I'm not quite sure what's happening here. This is something I've not come across before, but it's not giving me any kind of preview. And if anything, it's showing that the screen is pitch black. But when the picture comes through, there's actually quite a lot of detail there. So I'm not sure what's going on. Normally that happens when the preview for manual settings is turned off, but I've checked and it's turned on. So, bit of an odd one. I don't know if it's a lens thing or if it's a camera thing. I'm not quite sure. But these shots should be quite interesting. One thing worth mentioning about this lens though is that on this Fujifilm X-T1 there is a little bit of play between the lens and the body, so you do have to be a little bit careful. The manual focus ring and the aperture ring are nice and tight. There is a stepper on the aperture ring and there isn't on the manual focus ring obviously, but it is nice and smooth, but it's also nice and tight, which is kind of reassuring. As you'll have seen if you've watched any of those unboxing videos that I'm not doing, then you'll know that the lens is quite a good hefty construction as well, but that's what makes the play on the lens a little bit more bemusing. So something's gone wrong because I'm not where I thought I was going to be. And as we know, when I'm in the middle of the wood and it starts to get dark, my mind starts to go to very strange places. Ooh. Hang on a minute, I've just spotted another shot. Right, that's that one done. Where was I? Oh yeah, pretending to be scared for dramatic purposes. The problem with pretending to be scared for dramatic purposes is that it does actually trigger off all the chemicals in your body that trigger when you are scared. So yeah, more for you, guy. Oh shit! Try not to destroy nature, guy. Okay, so I think if we go around here. Okay, here we are. Here's the gate. Hang on, shit, this isn't it. This is a stile. I was expecting a gate. Oh crap. There's the hill though. The most gorgeous sky has just appeared. I have no idea how I'm going to shoot this. I'm going to have to quickly change my lens because I want to get that. That is just... This camcorder isn't doing it justice, but that is absolutely stunning. I'm actually running across the hills because that is so stunning. I know the composition I want and I don't know how long it's going to stay there. Oh crap. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Okay. Need to get back up somehow. Okay, so ended up running round the hill. Didn't get the composition I wanted and got some nice shots of the colour, but it's not really a photo. As I got here, quickly grabbed my telephoto lens out of my bag because, well, it was attached to the camera, so it was easier than changing lenses. To be honest, I don't think there was a full-on landscape if I'd have gone for my kit lens anyway, which is what I would have gone for. Flies love me here. But I came around the corner, ran up this hill, put my bag down, dropped the camcorder, thankfully it's still working. Bottle of water rolled out the bag, my other camera rolled out the bag, and hopefully the lens is okay. You can sort of see there the red glow. It's actually a lot deeper than that and it's gorgeous, and so I've managed to get something resembling a decent shot from it. But yeah, exciting few minutes. As always, totally just lost track on my bearings and where I am. I don't think this is going to be as bad as Chanctonbury Ring getting back, but that could be famous last words. Get off. Now's the time for me to properly take in the peace and quiet. A little bit of excitement, and now a little bit of rest. It's gorgeous out here, of course it is. Yes, I'm being eaten alive by midges and flies, things, get off my head, and yes, I'm sweating. And actually, no, I'm not going to sit here much longer because this is horrific. Okay, time to head back. First things first, down this slope without falling over. And I've got a feeling It might be further back than I remember, because I ran most of the way here. Just make sure I've not done anything stupid, like leave a lens behind. Okay. Right, run away. Ow. Ow. For some reason I've decided to keep my camera out on the tripod in case I see any truly great shots in this horrific light. My feet are killing. My heels are killing from where I've spent so much time leaning backwards. Flipping heck. The woods look really scary from here. Ow. Okay guy, you know the route back. It's a short route. It's not light, but you've literally seen one person all the time you've been at it. And yes, he could be a murderer, but you've got a selfie stick and a tripod. You can defend yourself. Oh shit, where am I? Ow. Ow. Whoa. Ow. Ow. Shit. This is a long way. Okay, this feels a bit nicer. We're back at the top of the hill on the other side. Ah, chuffing it. Oh my god. I swear it wasn't this far when I ran over here. That was an adventure, and getting back through the woods was a bit scary, but as it transpired I knew the route better than I thought I did and got back fairly quickly. I am just dripping with sweat, partly through adrenaline, partly through the sheer humidity. I can't really think clearly at the moment, so I'll do the debrief bit, I think, when I get back to the house. Normally when I do these videos I come back feeling quite restful and peaceful. Tonight I didn't. Coming back through the woods in the pitch black was pretty scary. I used my torch on my phone to get me through. I mean, I did know the route better than I thought I did, but there was always a part of me that was thinking, oh, if this bit isn't the bit I think it is, then I'm going to be a bit worried. Once again I got distracted. Soon as the sunset became a possibility, I put all my attention on that. In my defence though, that sunset was the most amazing thing I've ever seen. The bright red ball. I've never seen that in my life, let alone been able to capture it. I'm kind of gutted I didn't get there a bit earlier, but that's life, isn't it? I'm sure there'll be millions of pictures of that on Instagram this evening. Obviously the lens test kind of got a bit lost in there. What I will say is the sharpness is good. I'm probably going to get some of these printed because I'd like to see how good it is on print. The play between the lens and the camera was a bit of a worry. It didn't seem to affect anything and the images seem to have come out nice and sharp, so it's not a huge issue, but you kind of know it's there, which is a shame given that it's such a well built lens. I wanted to get some skyward shots as well of the trees bending in. I took some of those last time I was there and again I wanted to recreate them, but I didn't. My bad. Anyway, I am knackered. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you next week.